can include pain, heaviness, aching, fatigue, or swelling at the end of the day. If this has been the case, then Varicosity Vein Center can come to your aid. Evaluation and treatment of the veins is performed as an outpatient, utilizes the latest minimally invasive techniques, and is covered by most insurances. After treatment, patients may resume most normal activities without delay. Varicosity Vein Center now has 3 North Alabama locations, one in Huntsville on South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road. Our new locations include Madison at Madison Hospital Complex and Coleman at the Coleman Regional Sports Medical Center. You can call 256-715-7151 to set up your appointment with one of our experienced and compassionate team members, or you can visit online at varicosityveincenter.com. Varicosity Vein Center, Alabama's premier vein center.
It has happened. 171.294 miles an hour.
You wake up late for school, man, you don't want to go. You ask your mom, please, but she still says no. You missed 2 classes and no homework. But your teacher preaches class like you're some kind of jerk. You gotta fight for your right to party.
Can you get me a little typeset?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
You're tired.
Well, the lunchtime whistle and the morning's finally done. I'm jumping in my car, I'm gonna have a little fun. The Doghouse Network's on my radio dial. Big Dog's taking care of business for a while. If you're listening to another station I don't understand, 'cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Oh, yeah, baby. I'm talking about right there. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Football Friday in the Doghouse, and as always, we're going to serenade you with football music throughout the show, so it's no matter the time of the year. It's Football Friday. Let me hear a little guitar. Where's that guitar? Oh, yeah, it's right there. Now, yeah, it is Football Friday. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It is Football Friday in the Doghouse. And having said that, we got plenty to get into today in and out of the football universe. You know, the cover of College Football 25 has been released. And I know people like, Grizz and Captain Cool and the Bandy Man, and maybe many of you that are listening to the show are really eagerly anticipating this for the first time in 10 years. Now, me, I could care less. I'm just saying, that's just me, though. All right? I could care less. I'm not video game guy. I'm just not that guy. But College Football 25 is coming out, and it's going to be released. And instead of the old days where they had some random player on the cover that looked an awful lot like Tim Tebow, Now we get a cover that shows a number of players from behind with their names prominently displayed. Now, those of you that are watching on WZZN TV, you can see it up there right now alongside my head, just to the right, no, to the left. My right, your left of my head, okay? And you can see the cover there. We show that to you prominently there. It is very interesting because it is a number of players shown from behind, just so that we understand that the name, the image, and the likeness is front and center. Now, the most prominent player shown is Michigan running back Donovan Edwards, who we're looking at right there on the screen right now. Donovan Edwards, who rushed for less than 500 yards last season. To his left is Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. And on the right side is Travis Hunter of Colorado, who apparently is Deion Sanders' illegitimate son. And both of those are shown from behind, of course. In front of them, but less prominent, is Jalen Milroe and Carson Beck. And off to the right is Ole Miss transfer from Pike Road, Alabama, Quinshawn Junkins in his Ohio State uniform, with part of the name obscured. You know that it's Judkins, but it's kind of like a little bit obscured. Now, also on the cover there, you see players from behind with no names representing. There's a Notre Dame. I think there's 2 Notre Dame helmets in there. There's an Oregon helmet. You can see a Florida Gator helmet in there. So you kind of get an idea of where they're going with this thing. But there's no player names on that. So I don't know what they're doing with that deal. I wonder, and then it just kind of fades into a morass of helmets. What I wonder is, did your NIL money, is it tied to your position on the cover? In other words, did Donovan Edwards and Quinn Ewers and Travis Hunter, did they get more money than Jalen Milroe and Carson Beck and Quinshawn Junkins, who I can't say his name apparently? I'm just wondering. And speaking of NIL money, Hugh Freeze says that he couldn't get himself to just pay $1 million for a transfer quarterback, because apparently that's the going rate. $1 million for a transfer quarterback, or $1.5 million, or $2 million, depending on who you're listening to. I mean, the way it sounds, it's like he's just scratching the check himself. Like Hugh Freeze, I couldn't get myself to pay $1 million for a quarterback. What do you mean you? You're not supposed to even be involved in this thing at all. I mean, we just totally have bastardized whatever name, image, and likeness was supposed to be. It was supposed to be for a kid that he could now go out to the car dealership and get $250 to sign autographs for 2 hours. And that he could sell Milo's tea and make a few bucks in his now we just scratch checks to players. Now we just say, hey, 18 years old, never done anything in his life, we're going to give him $1 million. I mean, it's the Wild Wild West. It's so out of control. And it's just so weird the way these guys talk. Now, coming up at the top of the one, Justin Ferguson from the Auburn Observer is coming on to tell us how much the quarterbacks Auburn actually has are worth, so to speak. How much did Jalen Milroe get for that cover? We don't know. How much did Donovan Edwards get? We have no idea what these guys are worth. I mean, should it be public information what these guys make, what these kids make? We know what the pros make. You know, you can go to Sport Track and you could see every single athlete in Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NHL, the NBA, and see exactly what they're making, when their contract runs out, and everything else. Should we have that kind of transparency for these kids? Do we know? On3 has an NIL page that puts valuation on athletes' worth, what their NIL worth is. It says that Shedeur Sanders is right now worth $4.6 million a year in NIL money. What's he getting? Do we even know? I have any idea. Livy Dunn, who is the gymnast at LSU, who her claim to fame is she's attractive. She has 13.2 million followers on social media because you guys are perverts. She's worth $3.9 million. LeBron James' son, Bronny James, $3.7 million. Arch Manning, $2.4 million. Quinn Ewers, who is the starting quarterback at Texas, he's worth $1.9 million. Arch Manning, who has yet to take a meaningful snap for Texas, is worth $2.4 million. Jalen Milroe, $1.6 million. I have no idea what these guys are getting. Do we know? We really don't know what they're actually getting. It's crazy. At the top of the one, Bo Estes is in from NBA TV and NBA.com. I have no idea what happened last night and how Cleveland and Dallas won games. These playoffs have been pretty amazing. They are pretty amazing. Plus, we're waiting for the white smoke to emerge on the TNT deal as to whether or not they're going to continue to have the NBA and what you do with inside the NBA. And we have to ask Bo Estes about that because he works for Turner. Phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. I don't know, Grizz. No, did I say no? Bo is at 12. Bo is coming up next. I'm screwed up, Grizz. I'm going to tell you right now. My producer's he's pounding away at. He's like, wait a minute. You said Bo was at 12:25 on the sheet. He is. He's 12:25. I'm messed up. My youngest daughter is having a baby. You would think that this baby is going to be the next king of England or something because they're having a shower that the dude's got to go to. And it's tomorrow, and there's like 70 to 80 people coming in the shower, and people are coming in from all over the place. And my parents flew up from Florida to come to the shower. I'm surprised they didn't get lost in the air while they were flying into Nashville. And I told my son-in-law, or my brother-in-law, I set up this whole itinerary for them, and I said, this is going to be a problem. I better go to the airport and get them. I'll just take Friday off, and I'll go get them. No, your father wants it. My parents are 85 years old. No, your father wants to drive, and they're going to drive. And I'm like, they will get lost. They'll leave Nashville, and they'll end up in Kentucky, okay? It's going to be a problem. So he's, no, they can do it. Okay. So I dropped them a pin. I sent to both of them the address. All you got to do is touch the address on the phone. Grizz, you know how this works. All you got to do is pretty easy. You hit the freaking address on your phone, your smartphone, and the map comes up with the directions right to the front door. Take you right to the front door. Except for my father's smartphone is a dumb phone. It wouldn't work. It's not working. And they're like, they're out there at the airport. It's not working. I'm like, just touch the thing. It's not coming up on your father's phone. It's not working. Well, it turns out my father doesn't have the map app. They come with the map. He's got like an iPhone 20 or something. He's got like the most, he's constantly trading his phone in. He's got the most advanced iPhone that was ever made. He's got an iPhone. I don't even think it's available to the public yet he doesn't have the map on there. The Google map, they come with the map. He literally had to take the map off the phone at some particular point in time. The next thing you know, my mother is on the phone. My phone goes off, and it's my mother. And I'm talking to them. And he's like, what are you doing on the phone? I'm like, you called me. You called me. And he says, your mother's trying to put your address into the phone. I said, well, you're not, you called me. You didn't put the address in, you called me. And I put the address on there. All you have to do is touch it, and it will take you right to the front door. So finally she gets it on her phone. Then they're halfway here, and they're like, we're on 24 West. Are we going the right way? I'm like, we're on 24 West, headed for Chattanooga. I'm like, you better not be at 24 West. If you're on 24 West, you're going to end up in Paducah, Kentucky. You're on your way to St. Louis right now. Well, it says we're going to Chattanooga. I said, that's where you got to be going. You're on 24 East if you're going to Chattanooga. Apparently, I got to get off this at some point in time. I said, yeah, exit 117. He's like, all right, Barry, we got to get off at Highway 117. I'm like, no, it's exit 117. Then they call me. They're in Winchester on the square. I could throw a rock to the square from my house. And they're right there. I'm literally walking around in the street looking for two 85-year-old people who are driving around in a Kia Sorento rented car looking for my house in my neighborhood. So, Grizz, excuse me if I don't know the times of my guests that are coming on today because I spent the last 45 minutes with them. And I went to make a turkey sandwich. I had just enough to make my old man a turkey sandwich. I had peanut butter and jelly. And I haven't even started my coffee yet. My coffee's sitting over here getting cold. Phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. Text the show, 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. Facebook is at 97.7 ESPN. You'll find a link there to our YouTube channel at WZZN TV. Check out 977ESPN.com and get links to all of that. And listen live on your desktop. Or watch it. Watch this. Watch her. I'm going to blow my mother's mind. I think she's in the other room. I'm in the studio. I think she's in it. Hey, Ma! Ma! Meatloaf! Ma! Ma, come in here. See if my mother comes in here. They're both deaf. They don't have their hearing aids on. They're charging their hearing aids, apparently. Apparently, they had a bumpy flight. Ma! See if she comes in here. I only got to put her on the air. She probably can't find me. I'm in the building where my studio is. There's like 2 doors here. It's crazy. Get the app. You need the app. 4 more channels at the app. Snag the Talk Radio WZZN app for more great programming as well. You can hear Talk Radio at 97.7-2 over the air on a digital radio. All right, back there in the little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax and answering the phones and living large and in charge on a Friday. She's the one and the only. DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a stick polish.
Brilliant!
I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good time roll.
Down goes Grissom.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Hey, Grizzalicious. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing just fine. Yeah, no, that's a crazy experience that you're going through right now. I understand. A lot of times when it's my mother and father, if we're going on road trips together as a family, it was always my mom was clueless and my dad was just pissed off because he couldn't figure out what was going on and why the directions were so bad. But see, I grew up where I actually had to print out directions.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or actually use a map to try to go somewhere. So I can only imagine, how much
I don't know how
we
we did it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how we did it before we had
right.
I don't know how we did it. I used to get a triptych. You know what I mean? And you would follow the triptych, and that would be the way that you would get around. And I don't know. How did we look at that thing while we were driving? It would be your wife or your navigator or somebody would be like, okay, and they would tell you, okay, we're going to make a turn. You're going to go up here. We're looking for this in so many miles.
My grandparents on my mother's side had a camper, went everywhere with it, went to Montesano many times. Grandmother had the directions. Grandfather drove. I mean, it was, I could literally open it up and I would have a map of Mississippi, a map of Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, everyone around us at least. And I could get from Alabama to Florida, especially when we went to, Robertsdale or went to Florida or anything like that. I could get there. I mean, even as a kid, because I would just sit there and just read the map and just sit there and follow the, the lines.
I'm trying to tell my mother, you can watch the show on TV. I'm just trying to, that's right now. She's looking at it. She can't figure out exactly what's going on. See that? See, look at my shirt. See my shirt right there. Ma, Meatloaf. Ma, Meatloaf. That's my producer. See on the right, that's the producer over there. Okay. All right. See, he's waving to you now. That's the old dog that just slipped in behind me. Now all you see is his gut. All right. And there's Ma. And she's like, why aren't I here? Together. She doesn't realize there's a delay. Okay, there they are. They're kind of sliding into the screen now. And he's not a Tennessee fan. I don't know why he's got checkerboard orange on. I don't know what's up with that. But
it's a nice shirt.
That's what's going on there.
Grandpa's shirt right there.
They actually look pretty good for 85 years old. I'd be, by the time I'm 85, I'll be dead for 10 years. No, they're doing pretty good.
Walk circles around
this
you.
This is that's my mother's arm. Or there you go. Well, he's got the tight shot on. That's why you're not. She's seeing it on mine. Give me the one shot.
Here you go.
And you say, give me the one shot, and then you'll see her. There you go.
You could see both of them earlier.
That's my mom. There they are, and they're here. So they got here. So see, you could every day you could see me at home. You could watch the show on TV 1 to 3 your time, and then you won't miss me as much. So there you go. Anyway, they're here. My daughter is here from Florida. My daughter from San Diego who moved to Florida. She's here as well, and it's like, I don't know. It's the baby shower to end all baby showers. What can I tell you? It's nuts. Let me go knock some calls off. Natty Danny is up first. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
What's up?
He's cutting grass.
You are.
No, I am. I turn it off.
Yeah,
man, that's your parents, bro. Don't worry about them, man.
I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about them. I'm just saying. To be honest with you, I'm surprised they made it here. I'll be totally honest with you. I thought for sure they'd end up in St. Louis or something.
You're a good son. You keep up with them. I got you. You got to watch them and everything. You know how it is. We come in this world with no pants on.
Yeah.
They will leave the world with no pants, but they're actually depends, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that,
That's true.
For that age, your dad's done well for himself. I think
you come in with a diaper. Oh God, you should see the picture we got of you up now on the screen. Oh, that's just awful.
What do you mean?
I'm throwing up a little bit in my mouth right now. It's you at Siesta Key with no shirt on and no. Oh, God, retirement is this? If that's retirement, I'm never going to retire.
Tom, you look better than me. You look better than me.
No, I don't look better than you. I wish I was in the shape, but I'm not.
No belly there. I'm like,
let me tell you something.
Burly dude.
If I showed up on the beach like that without my shirt on, are you kidding me? The Greenpeace would show up and roll me back into the water. They'd be like, "Oh, we got one. We found one." They would put me in one of them slings like Free Willy, and they'd carry me out into the ocean.
When I was in the pool, these older women, they're looking, go, "Hey, not a silverback. I like this one." Don't worry about it, brother.
You're right. You are a silverback.
They call me a big gorilla. My kids call me the gorilla. Hey, now check it out. So I snuck out today by myself because I don't know where Larry is, and Tim, he's out in Vegas. So I snuck out to Colonial, played 18 by myself.
Okay.
And Colonial, I'm gonna tell you what, Tom, they're spending some money in that place. Those greens are in good shape. Fairways are decent, and they got carts. They got GPS and a stereo music in it.
Yeah, we got the Buckhorn tournament is there tomorrow at Colonial, which I would have normally played in. I was excited about playing in that tournament, but of course we got this baby shower, so I can't play in the tournament. But we do have a team in the tournament that'll be headed up by our own Scott Tyson at Colonial tomorrow, and then he'll play again on Monday.
You're going to be at the baby shower playing games with baby games?
We took my bocce ball set. Listen, this is going to be games that have never been played at a baby shower before. You know, usually they play them baby shower games that the girls play.
Yeah.
I sent my horseshoes, my bocce ball, and my bean bag all to the shower. My wife took all of that stuff up to the shower house, so we're going to play dude games at the shower.
But all the dudes that play bocce ball and everything, you know, they got to wear that thing that makes you feel like you're pregnant. You know, you got the belly on you, strap it on. So that way you get the feeling what it's like to move around with 10 pounds in your gut.
I don't know about strapping anything on.
Yeah, we got a trifecta today?
No trifecta today.
Oh, Thom.
You're lucky I'm on the air. No, we don't have a trifecta.
Right. Okay, all right. Well, that's all right. Well, listen, my man, I'll see you Monday.
All right. I look forward to it. So, hey, registration starts at 7:30. Don't be late.
Okay. Well, I got to talk to the dudes, and we'll go from there. All right.
Talk to them. All right. See you. Brandon is next. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to ask you about two things, and I'll try to be as fast as possible. I know you got to go to break.
Yeah.
Dabo Swinney and Clemson are the only Power 4 school did not take a single player out of the transfer portal. Not one. Word is they didn't even really talk to more than one or two. So this season coming up, make or break for him, is the clock rolling on him? If he has another bad season, does he make it 2 more years?
Define a bad season?
If he has another 8-4, 9-3.
Okay, so see, I think 9-3 they're safe. I mean, remember at Clemson, it used to go if you went 9-3, they'd throw you a parade. So I think right now,
Agreed.
If it's 9-3, if it's 8-4, or God forbid 7-5, 8-4, something like that, then I think 2025 is a hot seat year for him. I don't think there's an issue right now with him. He does need to get with the program here and start looking at these guys in the transfer portal. You know, they're
not even pursuing and talking to him.
Well, the thing is, apparently did they get? I thought they got a kid, Paul Tyson. Remember him? He was at Alabama. Yeah. I think Paul Tyson is Paul Bear Bryant's great grandson, and Paul Tyson transferred from Arizona State to Clemson. I believe that he came in there. He's not going to play, but he came in there. So that's the only one I know of that they got. They did, but they had some guys leave though.
On 3 was saying they had no players out of this last transfer portal cycle, and that the Tyson.
Well, out of this
playing like he.
Right. He was in the when the window was open before. I think what On 3 is talking about is they didn't get any players out of the transfer portal during the April dates. Yeah, and that would be correct.
Okay, I was thinking
Tyson came in, not the whole year.
Talking about all year.
No.
Okay,
Tyson came in December, I think, but I may be wrong on that. No, it's actually I am wrong. He came in January of last year, so yeah, you're right. It may be nobody that they got. They had a number of guys transfer out.
I'm not saying that you can't win without it, but if you're not even utilizing it at all, that's strange. If you're not even pulling people in and trying to talk to people, I mean, that's just maybe he does it and he makes me look dumb, but I just look at it and I say, I don't know how you're not even trying to get some of these upper-tiered guys. So
yeah,
that's me. And I wanted to ask you, so I saw a story, and I did not know this. Open-wheel IndyCar. They have a push-to-pass system on their car that I did not know existed, which is basically a nitrous button.
Well, yeah, it's a nitrous button.
On the Penske team,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. How the hell does Open Wheel have a nitrous button on their car, and in NASCAR you can't even pass anybody? The drivers are so mad.
Well, no, because in NASCAR, you can get in there and bump it and grind, and we get passes. I mean, we do get passes in NASCAR. I mean, when Talladega, there was 75 passes for first place. You know, it was just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
You have to have for IndyCar, they also have that in Formula One. You have to have that push to pass button because the tracks are so small, so narrow, that you'd never get by anybody. And yes, the Penske guys, two or three of the Penske teams, they had done something with their push to pass button, and he fired all those crew chiefs. Roger Penske fired those, because he is IndyCar. You know, he owns he owns Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and so he fired those guys. They got caught cheating, which is a really bad thing, you know, for the top team, you know, to get caught cheating like that. But, yeah, you don't want that in NASCAR. I mean, NASCAR, we have push to pass in NASCAR. It's called a bumper. That's push to pass.
Well, what we call that in the drag racing world is a scramble button. And, God, NASCAR, we talked about this about a year ago, but NASCAR needs that bad. Because they said they've got like 200 to 300 seconds of push to pass. And I'm thinking, my God, you could run on that for a few minutes?
But you can only do it in certain You can only do it in certain periods of time. There's it's like you might have a total of that, but you can only hit it for like 10 seconds at a time, something like that. I don't know what it is. I don't pay enough attention to IndyCar because they don't run on enough ovals. All right, I got to get out of here. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. All right, Jimmy, I'd love to get to you, but I'm already 6 minutes over time, and the show just started. So if you want to hang in there, we'll get you in here a little bit later on. But right now we're going to get a break. We'll come back with Bo Estes next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
I'm here today with Dr. Tracy Lowry of Veracity Vein Center. Now, how does someone suspect they have vein issues?
The most common symptoms associated with vein issues include leg heaviness, aching, and swelling, with some patients having visible veins as well. Vein issues can be easily diagnosed using ultrasound, with treatments performed as an outpatient using the latest minimally invasive techniques. Diagnosis and treatment is covered by most insurances. Both men and women have vein issues, though men may be more likely to ignore their symptoms when they're playing golf or walking the stadium steps. They too will benefit from correction of their vein problem. Patients can contact our clinics in Huntsville and new clinics in Madison and Coleman at 256-715-7151 or visit us at veracityweincenter.com.
Veracity Vein Center, Alabama's premier vein center.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
Hi folks, Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford. If you've had your eyes on an Explorer, Bronco Sport, or Escape, it's important to note that they now come with 2-year complimentary maintenance. And because it's SUV season, there's no payments for 90 days on any of our SUVs. At Woody Anderson Ford, make no payments for 90 days on all SUVs. Explorer, Bronco, Expedition, Edge, Bronco Sport, and Escape. Hurry in for financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150 crew cabs, too. And lease payments as low as $329 a month. Imagine an F-150 in your driveway for just $329 a month. 36-month lease with 6231 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. This offer ends 5/31/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Remember, 2-year free maintenance on Explorer, Escape, and Bronco Sport, plus no payments for 90 days on all SUVs. It's SUV season at Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. We are going to be cooler across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures only climbing into the mid and upper 70s. We're actually going to drop into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Really looking at a fantastic weekend. Mostly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. We're dropping into the low 50s through the overnight. A partly sunny sky on Sunday. Temperatures once again climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's perfect!
That's kind of harsh, Chris. I think that's the NBA on NBC theme. I mean, it's kind of harsh.
But I mean, like, I tried.
TNT.
I don't know the NBA TV
just
song, so I went with basketball. I didn't try to it's harsh or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
I know that, but you're using. I mean, I think that's John Tesh's the NBA on NBC theme. I mean, it's just wrong when you're talking about our good friend.
We pay the bill to
Oasis.
use it.
I mean, that's just not right. Thousands of area residents have received world-class care from the Valley's most trusted and experienced group of orthopedic surgeons and medical specialists. TOC services the Huntsville Havoc, Alabama A&M, and most of the high schools really in the region, with 13 locations throughout the Tennessee Valley. If you have orthopedic problems and are considering professional care, TOC is the only logical choice. Whether you have a work-related injury or got sidelined playing a sport that you love, you need the best care, the best physicians, the best facility to get you back in the game. And I think you will agree that the Orthopedic Center is right for you. Stay in the game with TOC. All right, joining us now, if he's still on the line, he might have hung up when he heard the NBA and NBC music. I mean, come on, But it's, of course, the one and only Bo Estes from NBA TV and NBA.com. He's on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Bo, I apologize for the heartlessness shown by my producer there and bringing you back with the NBA and NBC music.
Does that orthopedic center treat emotional scarring for listening to John Tesh's Round Ball Rock? I'm in pain, man. I'm in pain.
I know. I'm like, damn, that's the NBC music. I mean, you kidding me? I mean, that ain't right.
Oh boy.
All right, we'll get to the games in a minute. Since we're starting there, do you want to break the news right now? What do we know? I mean, do we know anything yet? Because Chuck made it sound like we were going to know a week ago, like any minute, what the decision was, and we still don't know anything, right? I mean, there's still not been a decision made as to whether or not TNT is going to lose the NBA. Is that true?
Just keeping my blood pressure up. That's all that's going on right now is, we don't know anything. Obviously, it's a bit complex, and I think it's even more complex than some of the reporting I've seen out there. It looks like, and this is according to the reporting, that ABC, ESPN, Disney have a deal to continue to be the primary rights holder for like the finals and everything like that. Amazon would potentially be a streaming partner, and NBC and John Tesh have put together $2.5 billion a year, and my company, Turner Sports, and Warner Brothers Discovery are trying to match that or beat that, depending on what you hear. But the numbers are just astronomical. So, I guess I'm not at that level clearly. So they've got to make it make sense and make all the beans add up right. And until we know where the beans add up, all of us that work there just sit and wait and hope. That's all we can do is hope.
And you can't, when you think of these numbers, these bean counters are a lot smarter than us. They're figuring out the total impact of having the package and having that, because there is a segment of people that wouldn't even have known of TNT if it wasn't for the NBA on TNT or NASCAR on TNT, and they use it as a promotional vehicle for other shows and things like that. I became fans. My wife and I watched a lot of shows like The Closer and some of the other shows that there was the Last Ship. The Last Ship was a TNT show. I did not even know that show existed except for a promo I saw during an NBA broadcast. And then we watched the whole series. We streamed the whole series. So there are other benefits than just the game and turning, those games into advertising dollars, right?
And that's right. And it's not a one-for-one, dollar-for-dollar exchange. Exactly like you said. It goes beyond that if you want to think about it in that way. What happens is NBC is owned by Comcast. Comcast is a big carrier. So if Comcast overpays a bit for the rights fees, but then TNT loses the rights, well, TNT and all of our Warner Brothers networks can't charge as much to be on Comcast. So they make some of that money. Comcast and NBC make some of that money back potentially by giving us less money to put TNT on their air. So there's that loss. If you're TNT, you have to consider that as well. You have to consider, if we don't get it, what's it going to cost us down the road in terms of carriage fees, and then beyond that, in terms of loss of exposure and loss of identity, and what is TNT without the NBA, and all that other stuff. So it's a real challenge, and again, that's way above my pay grade. But those are sort of the broad strokes lay of the land situation.
One of the fascinating things is in the coverage of this, it seems almost like there's more talk about inside the NBA than there is the NBA as far as TNT goes. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is it. Forget the games. We don't need to forget that. This is inside the NBA. We're talking about the greatest studio show in the history of studio shows. You can make a case for game day, college football game day, but that's a little different animal because it's not necessarily tied to a particular game type of deal. So it does make you wonder, I would imagine all those different iterations are out there in terms of what would inside does the crew leave? Ernie says he's not going anywhere. He's 67, by the way. I don't even know if he'd make it to the end of the next contract if it stayed with TNT. And then there's like, well, why can't they just do a show and whether they got games or not and have inside the NBA, and then people will switch over and watch the game wherever they want to watch it. But it is fascinating that seems to be as much of the discussion as possibly losing the games themselves.
Well, it is a testament to how incredible Inside the NBA is and how much that show has separated itself from all the other products you see on the air. People gravitate towards that show, and it's not because they put together incredible basketball analysis. It's a great hour of entertainment. It's like watching your favorite comedy show, something like that. I tell everybody that'll listen, Charles Barkley is the funniest person I have ever met in person in my life. It is a snap answer. There's no close second place. He's just a naturally funny guy off camera and on camera. He helps make that show, but I think the secret sauce is the four of them together. I think Ernie Johnson somehow being the traffic cop, and almost you can see the pain on his face, and that's part of the humor when Charles and Shaq and Kenny go off the rails. It's just you caught lightning in a bottle. And, I'm sure that there's a price on lightning in a bottle, but, right now, that product that TNT has is something really special. I'm sure the NBA values it. I'm sure, Tom. It's not like a light thing they just dismiss.
I thought there was a fascinating article written by Dimitri Ravanos over at Barrett Sports Media, and he says, why doesn't the NBA just buy the rights to the actual show and then make that show the pregame show for wherever the games are, notwithstanding, the guys don't want to work every night, but, make that like the pregame show. Wouldn't ESPN kill to have that be their lead-in? Wouldn't Amazon or NBC or whatever? Why would you want anything else? And it could just be a studio show based there in Atlanta. And then, we go to the game, you go to the game. They throw the switch and they go to the game. Who cares who's doing the game? I thought it was fascinating. It's not something that would happen, but it was kind of an interesting concept.
Well, yeah, and you and I both know that doing something like that would mean that executives are relinquishing some control. Producers are relinquishing some control if you're at NBC or ESPN or Amazon or whatever it is. Because Charles is going to say whatever he wants. I mean, whatever. He used to criticize our CEO all the time on air, just hammer him into the ground. It takes a special group of leaders to say, you know what? I'm okay with that as long as the show's doing great. And I don't know that the leadership at, ESPN would go for that, or Amazon. I know that NBC would, because it's an old turn guy. Mark Lazarus is in charge over at NBC. So I imagine he'd be fine with it. But it's just a tough thing. And then there's all these producers that work at NBC that think, why can't I do the show? So there's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah. Bo Estes with us, talking some NBA here, was the playoffs will continue tonight. All right, what the heck happened last night? What is up with that? I said they could leave the ice down from the Ranger game and the Celtics would still win last night, and they get hammered by the Cavaliers, who now go home with the highly sought after split. And the same thing happens with Dallas. Now, all of a sudden, you see Dallas and Minnesota. Looks like it may be a longer series than what we thought. It could be Celtics in 5 still. We get that. But what happened last night?
Yeah, the Celtics pulled a Celtics game. I mean, they lost the game by double figures against the Miami team that was injury riddled, and they win game 1 in this series against Cleveland by 25, come back and lose by 24. In this one, it was a bit of a shock. I have to be honest. Some of this is the modern NBA, though, Tom. I mean, just guys get hot from 3, and it's just nothing you can do. Donovan Mitchell, 5 of 7. Darius Garland, 4 of 5. That goes a long way, but it's hard to explain a Jaylen Brown struggling, and the Celtics overall shot 22% from 3. It's just an abysmal effort at home. And the other thing I kept hearing is that the home playoff crowd in Boston is not nearly as good as that regular season playoff crowd. It was a dead crowd in there. So maybe they're a bit lethargic right now. Maybe they're just thinking they're going to cruise right into the conference finals and be looking Jalen Brunson in the eye. But Cleveland's not going to lay down. I know that much.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Nor will Dallas lay down as Luka Doncic, banged up and everything else, getting it done. And gosh, so many good guys in the league right now. I mean, this Anthony Edwards kid, good-looking kid. He's got his game together. He seems respectful. And you listen to Jalen Brunson talk, and he's so respectful and well-spoken. And, it's just that we're in a really good spot. Of course, a guy that was, getting, pretty close to fine territory and then finally did get fined was Rick Carlisle. He says 78 or 79 uncalled fouls against, and he only gets clipped $35,000. I worked that out. He's like, they only charged him $500 per missed call. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, $500 for every call they missed. I mean, look, did we go back and look at every call they missed against the Knicks? Yeah.
Yeah, if he gets that rate going forward, he may just keep going with these criticisms. I mean, honestly, that's not a bad deal at all.
When he said big market, clearly, against a big market, he crossed the line. He went from, okay, the referees suck, to the league this is rigged. He went to rigged. I thought at that point, he didn't say rigged, but that's what he's implying when he said big market team. I thought that was the automatic 100K. You know what I mean? I figured, okay, that's 100K. You can't say something that would imply that the league or their officials are pulling for one of the teams. I mean, you can't go there.
No, not at all. But, I always wonder on these things, like when he brings up that sort of a number of calls, I wonder about sort of an allowance for righteous indignation. Like, did they look at it and say, he may have a point here. We have to find him. We have to say something. But he may have a point. Whenever the fines don't match what you think it's going to be way outside the box, I start to look towards that and wonder if that played a part. I don't know that that's true, but it just seems like maybe the league said, okay, he had a point. He said too much, but maybe he had a point. This Knicks series gets real interesting now because, Willis Reed might be out there at this point. They've got so many injuries. The injury report for the Knicks looks awful. Almost like they're going to have to punt game 3 and 4 and see what happens back in MSG. So I'm excited to see, Jalen Brunson out there. He's questionable. He probably shows up. That guy.
Oh, he'll play.
At what point,
he's playing.
Yeah, and but my question is, at what point, if they're losing by 20, at what point is it worth it keeping him out there and not looking ahead? Because it's a tough call for those Knicks. They're going to be without Bogdanovich. They're going to be without OG Anunoby. Obviously, they're out without Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle. It's a rough time for the Knicks with injuries.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It feels like the Knicks are, they're losing the series 0-2. It's like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? They're up 2-0. They're up 2-0. It feels like they're down 0-2. It's like the Knicks are losing this. The Pacers are winning the series 0-2 right now. That's how it feels. But
I guess
we'll see.
Say, though, for those Villanova guys, I bet they love that. It gives them another chip on their shoulder to walk out there and just prove the world wrong again and again and again. Those guys, that mentality, we've talked about it before, it just so fits New York.
I wonder if they got any more over there. I wonder if they got any more guys who can go grab a couple more Villanova guys because got nobody to
maybe
play.
Jay Wright can be an assistant coach. I don't know.
There we go. Always good stuff, Bo S. This has been our guest. We'll talk again next week, Bo. This is a fascinating playoff. Certainly going to be a big night again tonight in the NBA. And have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk again.
Take care, man.
All right, thank you. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back, set you up for hour number 2 next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
97.7 ESPN The Zone is the Tennessee Valley's #1 destination for the finest in sports talk all day long. Tune in to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond each morning at 7. Then, the Morning Blitz with Captain Cool and the Bandy Man. At noon, it's the Tom Abraham Show, followed by Paul Feinbaum and The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. The Zone is also your home for University of Alabama and UAH sports, plus the Atlanta Braves and the High School Sports Streaming Network. And sister station Talk Radio WZZN has Trash Pandas action with Josh Carey all season long. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and Talk Radio WZZN. Listen on the air or download the apps and take them with you everywhere.
Clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to. We're the ones that you meet with.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case. You want to talk to me? You just call me.
And we'll take care of it. You worry about getting well. We'll take care of the rest.
The Lackey Law Firm.
And I'll go you one better. If you can't come to us, we'll come to you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing. We have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates. Residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. We are going to be cooler across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures only climbing into the mid and upper 70s. We're actually going to drop into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Really looking at a fantastic weekend. Mostly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. We're dropping into the low 50s through the overnight. A partly sunny sky on Sunday. Temperatures once again climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
College football.
The ball is caught. It is a touchdown.
Major League Baseball.
That ball is gone. A home run.
This is your place for complete sports coverage all year long. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Minuteman Express. For all your printing and promotional needs, it is Minuteman Express. They help me out for some stuff I need for the church. They also help out the radio station. All our signage we get from Minuteman Express. All our printing needs come from Minuteman Express. Minuteman Express. They will help you with all of that good stuff. That's Minuteman Press. What am I saying, Grizz? Grizz keeps saying press on my ears. Press. What did I say? I said Minuteman Express? Well, you know why? It's because they're so damn fast. This is Minuteman Press. Did I say Minuteman Express? Really? I'm losing it.
Yeah, we'll go back.
No, I trust you. I just gotta get my head.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Out of my rectum. All right.
Got so many family members there. I understand.
I'm running in
just
and
like
out.
the NBA.
Dealing with the stuff for the golf tournament. The Captain Cool's running around picking up water and soft drinks and prizes, for the tournament, and his front brakes locked up on his car. He ends up at the brake shop. Turns out he needed the calipers and the pads and the whole 9 yards. Cost him $900.
Yeah,
he's running around for the rig. It cost him $900.
People tell me all the time it's easier to do it yourself, but
I don't know about that kind of a job. Yeah. All right, coming up next, Justin Ferguson, the Auburn Observer, is next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The WNBA is heading north of the border. Toronto's been awarded a franchise. Will start play in 2026 and be the first international team for the league. Will be owned by Kilmer Sports Incorporated, headed by Toronto billionaire Larry Tannenbaum. The Knicks listing point guard Jalen Brunson as questionable for Game 3 of the second-round NBA playoff series against the Pacers due to a foot injury. Forward OG Anunoby will not play tonight because of a strained left hamstring. Covered 6:30 Eastern ESPN Radio, 7 Eastern ESPN. New York's got a 2-0 series lead. Timberwolves set to welcome back center Rudy Gobert for Game 3 tonight versus the Nuggets, 10 Eastern on ESPN. He missed Game 2 for the birth of his son. Minnesota's up 2-0. Former Bucks and Hawks coach Mike Budenholzer targeted by the Suns to be their next head coach. Discussions expected to move rapidly toward a deal.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, we love baseball almost as much as we love serving up the best and baddest burgers around. People have called our burgers totally insane. And at Bad Daddy's, we take that as a compliment. But it's not just burgers. Up first, starters like our fried pickles, wings, or poblano frites. Second, try one of Bad Daddy's giant chopped salads. Third, our famous chef-inspired burgers with lots of different taste options. And before you head home, finish up with one of our shakes or delicious banana pudding. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and Clift Farm in Madison.
Owen Home Appliance Center features the biggest names in home appliances like Viking, Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, GE, and Frigidaire. But they also have great brands that you may not know, like Mela, Forno, Z-Line, Invisicook, and Beko. But no matter what, they all get delivered the day you buy, and they service everything they sell. And at the Lacey Spring Showroom, just 8 miles south of the river on 231, you'll find a totally interactive showroom where you can hear the dishwashers wash, and the freezer's free, and see the cookies get baked in the double ovens. Owen Home Appliance Center will even wash and dry a load of clothes for you so that you can see how great the products are. And they have ice machines making all kinds of ice, cubed, nugget, and top hat. How is that for variety? Owen Home Appliance Center believes in community involvement as well, sponsoring youth teams, race cars, and an annual Easter egg hunt. Quality products, quality pricing, quality service is the name of the game for Owen Home Appliance Center. Find them in Somerville and Lacey Springs and online at owenappliance.com.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves are in New York to begin a 3-game weekend series against the Mets. The Braves are coming off a 2-game series at Truist Park where they beat the Boston Red Sox in both games. Charlie Morton getting the start for Atlanta tonight, 2-0 with a 3.50 ERA. The Mets will counter with Jose Quintana, 1-3 as an ERA over 5. The Mets getting a 1.5 or minus 130. On the money line, Atlanta minus 150, the Mets plus 130. The over-under tonight at Citi Field is at 7.5. The over is minus 130 and the under plus 110. For vsin.com, I'm Tony Desiri, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show here on a Football Friday. This segment of the show is brought to you by the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. They take care of routine checkups. They keep your Ford or other brand in perfect working order. It's an award-winning service department. And, you know, if you have a bigger problem, their expert service technicians will quickly diagnose it. They use state-of-the-art tools to resolve it. Services include preventative maintenance, checks on belts, hoses, and fluids, plus air conditioner, brake, and transmission repair. We should have sent Captain Cool over there. The problem was he was broke down, and he broke down right in front of a brake shop. I sent him over to Woody Anderson Ford to have them do his brakes. And then we would know what we're getting. They have the mobile service as well, you know, for things like oil changes and tire rotations. If you can't get in, they'll come to you. Parts replacements like windshield wipers and lights and so on. And if you're only available on the weekend or in the evening, the Quick Lane service is open. It's your one-stop shop for brakes and tires and batteries. And we want to thank Woody Anderson Ford as well, our presenting sponsor for the Eagle Installation WZZN Charity Golf Classic, presented by Woody Anderson Ford on Monday. And we're looking forward to that at Cherokee Ridge. And they'll be out there playing with a couple of teams as well from Woody Anderson Ford, and that is going to be great stuff. Plus, of course, Woody Anderson Ford Rocket City Awards coming up in June. More information on that. We are opening up the Rocket City Awards this year to general public as well. You'll have an opportunity to buy a ticket to come out to the Rocket City Awards as well. That'll be really, really cool stuff. All right, joining us now, a guy that does a tremendous job covering all things Auburn with the Auburn Observer. He is the one and only Justin Ferguson. It's been a minute since we talked to him. He is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ferg, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. How are you?
I am tremendous. I noted with great interest, not because I'm a gamer, but because I noted with great interest that College Football 25 cover has come out. And you know, I thought it was very interesting that they had a number of players with their name, so that, you know, the name, the image, and the likeness is clearly noted there with their names on their jerseys. And I thought it was interesting that Donovan Edwards, a running back, had less than 500 yards for Michigan, but he is wearing that Michigan helmet, that he was front and center when on that cover. What were your thoughts when you saw the cover for College Football 25?
Yeah, it's just so surreal. I mean, growing up playing that game, and, you know, you're either playing with, you know, this is, you know, for Auburn, it would be, you know, QB number 1 instead of Peyton Thorne. And now to see the names on it and know that these guys are going to get compensated for it, it's just super cool. And, yeah, the interesting mix of players they got. I mean, it's like you want to have the defending national champions front and center. I get it. But, you know, they lost a lot of guys. And so you get to a point where it's like, all right, well, you know, who are you going to get? Donovan Edwards. But, yeah, really good mix of guys. Obviously, some big name players. They're Jalen Milroe, obviously representing Alabama there, and pretty well deserved. And I think that's it. Just kind of it just gets you excited, and I've been looking forward to this game for a while, and I'm just really excited that we're in this new era now where these kids can be a part of the game because I know how cool it is for them.
I thought it was interesting that we see Edwards, we see Quinn Ewers and Travis Hunter, we see Quinshon Judkins, kid out of Alabama, the state of Alabama. You mentioned Jalen Milroe. He's more towards the front. And Carson Beck, with his name a little bit kind of obscured. And then you see all these other players without names on their jerseys, including a Notre Dame player wearing number 2. And Notre Dame doesn't put the names on their jerseys. So I don't know if that's an actual dude, if he got paid or not. But I wonder if these guys, did Edwards get more money than Milroe and Beck because of his position on the cover? You know what I mean? And did they get real money for this? Because as you know, each player, I think, in the game got what, $500, $600?
Yeah.
I think that's all they got to be in the game was $500 or $600. But I got to believe that Quinn Ewers and Donovan Edwards and Travis Hunter got more than that.
Yeah, and they're part of the promotional thing. I remember those guys were kind of front and center when the game was announced, being like, "Hey, I'm in the game," and all that. So I'm sure it's some sort of little boost there for them. And like you said, Milroe, those guys are going to be on there. It kind of shows how Auburn's got a little ways to climb when it comes to getting back to where they want to be in college football. Auburn is, you don't see an Auburn helmet on there, but you see a flag towards the front. So Auburn's on there. It's just, not as well represented. And I think that's just kind of a little small sign of hey, Auburn's still got a little ways to go if they can get back up to be, among what people would consider to be the top dogs in college football.
I'm not seeing, I see the Ohio State flag. I see the Michigan flag. I see an Iowa flag. I don't see the Auburn one. I see a Nebraska flag.
Yeah, it's to the right. It's blue, and it's blue.
Okay.
And there's a blue. Yeah. Very, very, very faint, but it's there.
I was looking for a white one, and I didn't see a white one. All right, so number 2 for Notre Dame is Jaden Harrison, who is a graduate student out of Antioch, Tennessee. He went to Pearl Cone High School there in Nashville. 5'10", 194-pounder, but I don't know if that's who that is or not, or if it's just some dude wearing number 2. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see how it goes. Now, from what I understand, I'm not even joking about this. I understand there's NIL and transfer portal and all that kind of stuff is covered in the game. It's it's in the game.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I was talking. We had a podcast come out today with my friend of mine, Max Olson, who's kind of the portal guy at the Athletic, and he was basically saying from what he had heard, they were really working to make sure that the portal and all that was included in the game, and it was realistic if you're trying to recruit and all that. So it'll be super chaotic because the old games you were used to it was pretty straightforward how to recruit. Now there are no rules.
Well, there are, because you know why. It's because there are no rules. That's pretty much how it is. Exactly. That's pretty much how it is. So you can go in and can you go into the game and be Hugh Freeze and then decide whether or not you're going to pay $1 million for a transfer quarterback? Because he said he couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yep. Basically, you could go in there and do it. You could run a Auburn fans. You could run a dynasty and say, hey, if you want to put this kid at quarterback, or if you want to change something up and you want to play all the freshmen or whatever, you got that flexibility.
Interesting comments by him this morning, right? Yeah. To say, I couldn't see paying $1 million for court. It's almost as if he's scratching a check. I mean, it's not the only one. These coaches talk like that, but I just couldn't bring myself to do that. Is he controlling the NIL? That's what when he says I couldn't bring myself to do that. Go and spend $1 million on a guy. I didn't think that's the way this whole thing worked.
Yeah. Basically, it's one of those things where it's we know how much money I might not be the one giving you the money, but we know how much money we have in the collective and all that. Yeah. And for the freeze comments, it's a matter of, allocating your resources. And here's the thing with Auburn this year. This is a better roster than they were last year, but this is not a championship caliber roster right off the bat. And so what Freeze has said a couple of times, and kind of what he was hinting at here with this is like, hey, we could go get a big name guy. We could go get another guy in the transfer portal, but that's $1 million or however that we weren't able to spend in our high school recruiting. Guys that you hope will be here for more than 1 year. Guys that, Auburn needed to become a better team. And it's like, if you go get a transfer quarterback, do you necessarily have enough money or resources or whatever to go get Cam Coleman and Perry Thompson and make sure you have Jamonte Waller and Amaris Williams and like this really good recruiting class? And so when you take a big picture view of Auburn and say, hey, this program's still got to go through a rebuilding period or, to get back to championship contention, I think the way Auburn has gone about it is basically, over the last few months, they said, hey, we have a quarterback who's going to be back for another year. We've got some young guys behind them. For us, it makes more sense on the timeline of the way the program's going is if we've got big money to spend, let's make our team better and not necessarily just one position better for one season. And we'll see if that ends up paying off this year.
Do you think he is all in on the guys behind Peyton Thorne? Because Peyton Thorne can be a fine quarterback for what they're doing right now. Holden Gerner and Hank Brown, the kid he was recruiting out of Nashville when he was at Liberty, and then Walker White, who famously went and danced with Brian Kelly to go to LSU and then danced his way right the hell out of there and ends up at Auburn. Those are three guys that almost kind of seem like one guy. You know what I mean? They all seem to be developmental guys that can be pretty good. I mean, they're all in that kind of 4 to 5 star, 4-star type guy that can be very serviceable. Do you think this lip service, or do you think he really does believe in those guys?
I think he does, and I think it's a scenario where, he said in his comments, he was like, I'm not saying I won't go get a transfer quarterback ever, but, right now that just wasn't in the cards. I think he would prefer, knowing Hugh Freeze and kind of knowing his track record, he wants to have a program where he has a guy that he has under his wing, for multiple years, especially at quarterback, and be able to kind of just let him turn it loose instead of just getting these rentals as often. Now, if you can get the right guy, it definitely can pay off. And, obviously Auburn felt like they needed to go get a transfer last year and got one in Peyton Thorne. But, Freeze has been big on let's stack recruiting classes. Let's build that way. When you look at the teams that are among the championship, quality in college football, they're not ones that are having to really go as hard in the transfer portal. They're developing guys. I look at Georgia, for example. Like, they like to have a guy like Carson Beck around, and they're going to get Jaden Rashada, and he might be the guy for them for the future. But again, it's the thought process of developing and not just bring a guy in, guarantee him everything. So I think when you look at what Auburn's done, getting Walker White, they're trying to flip Julian Lewis, the 5-star quarterback from Georgia, who's currently committed to USC. They want to build through the high school ranks, and I think at quarterback, he wants a guy that's his guy for several years, and that's a preferred way to go. The problem is that college football is what have you done for me lately? You kind of get in win now mode, so it's a risk. It's a gamble either way. What you go
for the kids, and even for the kids, they're like, if I'm not playing immediately, I'm gone. I mean, it's just the way it goes, and there seems to be no accountability. I was surprised. Kirby Smart does not need to take Jaden Rashada. I mean, to me, that kid is a red flag waiting to happen. I mean, when you get a guy like that, it's just bouncing all over the place, and it's like, what are you doing? And why are you doing it? Now, I'm not going to go all Dabo Sweeney. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I'm not going to use this thing. There certainly is benefits to it, but I think that there's got to be a blend. And I'll go all the way back 25 years ago. When I was a college football coach, we had a program that we took over that was terrible. They were a losing program. They were 1-10 the year that we got there. And one of the holdover coaches said, yeah, but we got everybody back. And we're like, you know what? We don't want those guys back. We need to get some transfers. You know what I mean? And so we went out and we got some 17 transfers right off the bat, and we're able to go 7-4 the next year. The problem is that you're dealing with a lot of damaged goods, when you're dealing with transfers generally, especially back then. Now it's not quite as much. And but man, it just seems like this has got to settle down at some particular point in time. And a transfer has got to be, it's not like the whole team is a transfer. It's got to be, just some spots here and there that you're filling holes.
Yeah, and I think that's the teams that have made it work. I mean, you look at teams that won championships have been able to kind of hit their spots in the portal more than just building the whole thing out. Like, look, everybody likes Lane Kiffin and what he's done at Ole Miss. I am looking to see, okay, can they get over the hump? Can you truly contend for a championship with a transfer-heavy roster? That's the question, because I think the best teams right now, it's kind of like the same way in college basketball. They're doing it with a mix. You bring your own guys in, you develop your own guys, you get guys in for a while. But then also, year to year, you look at it and say, okay, what do we need right now that we got to get through this season with? And I think that's the best possible approach, because as we know, in the SEC especially, the best teams aren't the ones that are just winning the transfer portal every year. The best teams are the ones who bring it in top 5, top 10 recruiting classes year after year after year, and stacking that depth, that quality depth, because it's a hard league to play in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Justin Ferguson with us here at Auburn Observer. Everything you need to know Auburn is right here. Have you found that? I mean, I know football always drives the bus, but now that, once March Madness ends and once we get through spring ball, does it seem to be like we're back to 80-20 emphasis on the football? Or is there, because Auburn has retained a lot of its talent in basketball, and they've got an opportunity really to be, I think, pretty good this upcoming year. Is the interest, though, in terms of number of clicks and stories that are read, I should say, is that kind of way down compared to football now?
I think right now, it's a little over half we have with football, but I think a lot of fans are interested in basketball because they're still trying to round out their roster, and the portal is even bigger in college basketball just because of the impact that one of these guys can have. But yeah, there's a lot of excitement, and then I think you look at the SEC, what's happening in SEC basketball, with Calipari going to Arkansas and what they're redoing at Kentucky, and obviously Nate Oates and Alabama are gonna have a really good roster next. I mean, the thought that and I wrote about this in the mailbag today, there's a real chance that next season Auburn and Alabama are both preseason top 10 teams. That's never happened before. And so that just really kind of drives the interest up. But yeah, it's kind of slowly settling back into, okay, let's get closer and closer to football season and get ready to roll there.
Yeah, because it won't be long. We'll all be sitting in Dallas, because that makes a lot of sense to be going to Dallas. I mean, it was one of the most predictable things that could possibly have ever happened is that we would be going to Dallas for SEC Media Days. All right, well, we're going to continue to follow things at the Auburn Observer. It's the best place to be to follow anything and know what's going on there as we get closer and closer to camps getting open and all that kind of good stuff. As always, we appreciate you. Justin Ferguson has been our guest. Ferg, keep up the great work, man, and we'll keep up the conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tom.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to bring in here. We'll go back to open lines now the rest of the way. So, Jimmy, circle back unless you're holding. If you're holding, God bless you. But if not, circle back, and we'll get you in here. Anybody else wants to jump on board, you can do it now. 256-5764-97.7. If you're a seam head, like Grizz and I are seam heads, and you've been excited about the prospects of Major League Baseball coming to Nashville, and we starting to feel like, you know what, this is going to happen. I mean, this is going to happen. This expansion is going to happen. This is going to happen. Well, maybe not so fast, my friend. I'll explain next. It's the Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Handshake Barbershop, a vintage barbershop feel where you can catch up with an old friend and maybe make a new one. We still do classic men's haircuts, beard trims, and hot towel straight razor shaves. Plus, we offer more modern, trendy haircut services. Enjoy arcade games and rock and roll spinning on vinyl while you're here too. Book your appointment online at handshakebarbershop.com. Everything you love about your favorite barbershop, but with our own special DNA. In Arab, Gunnersville, and now at Cherokee Ridge Country Club. Online at handshakebarbershop.com.
Hey everyone, it's Joe Montana. Spreading the word about pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older like me, you're at increased risk. So, what's the game plan? A strong defense. Pneumococcal pneumonia can strike at any time in any season, so you shouldn't wait to help protect yourself. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination today and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. We are going to be cooler across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures only climbing into the mid and upper 70s. We're actually going to drop into the lower 50s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Really looking at a fantastic weekend. Mostly sunny sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. We're dropping into the low 50s through the overnight. A partly sunny sky on Sunday. Temperatures once again climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Owen Home Appliance Center, featuring the biggest names in home appliances. And even some that you might not know, but they got tremendous value. It's Owen Home Appliance. Their Lacey Springs showroom, just 8 miles south of the river on 231, is where you'll find a totally interactive showroom. It's amazing. You go in there. I walked around in there myself, and they got the freezers working. They got the cooktops working. They've got the cookies baking in the oven, in the double oven. They got everything you need. Mike Owen's in there. He's like, yeah, bring me your laundry. I'll do your laundry. I'll show you how good this washing machine is. I mean, it's incredible. They just try harder and do a tremendous job there. They have ice machines in there making all kinds of ice, the cubed ice, the nugget ice, the top hat ice. For those of you who have an highball, 2 fingers of scotch, you want to have the top hat ice. You know what I mean? How's that for variety? Quality products, quality pricing, quality service. It's the name of the game for Owen Home Appliance Center. They're very active in the community as well. They also are supporting our golf tournament coming up on Monday to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They've given us a bunch of stuff to put in the bags to give you guys. And beyond that, the Owen Home Appliance team, they'll be rocking some gear from Owen Home Appliance, Grizz. I mean, that's kind of a cool thing. The Owen Home Appliance team which is Richard Frazier, Jay Vassar, Jay in Athens, Richard Klein, and Scott Tyson going to play with them.
I know 2 of those. I know 2 or 3 of those names.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's going to be a pretty cool team. That's a pretty formidable team. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see who does
I'm
what.
just going to be putting while everybody's playing. I'll just be.
Oh, are you going to putt?
I'm just going to putt.
We should just put you on a hole,
never played
and then
ever.
you could hang out, and we could just have
I'll
you
take
putt.
pictures. I'll drive around and take pictures.
We already have that guy. That's
I know.
Captain Cool's doing that.
Yeah, but it's pretty out there. It's nice to drive around, get lost.
It's going to be prettier out there,
Yeah.
I think, this time around because of the fact that it's a little bit later in the year. It's about a month later than we were last time, so I think the course is going to be in phenomenal shape. We're looking forward to that. All right, phone lines are open if you want to get in. 256-5764-97.7. We'll get you in. Grizz, we were feeling like baseball was just around the corner in Nashville, weren't we? I mean, didn't we have that feeling that it was was about to happen? Well, apparently it's not as close as we thought, and there are some issues that are coming to light here. According to a story this week, Commissioner Rob Manfred made one thing clear: Major League expansion is not coming to Nashville or anywhere anytime soon. Manfred said during his annual meeting with the AP Sports Editors Group at the MLB offices this week that he anticipates having expansion process in place by 2029. What is this, 2024? So that's 5 years when his term as commissioner ends. Well, to me, if he says by 2029, 2025 is by 2029, 2026. Didn't say he's going to have it done in 2029. The story goes on to say, add in the time needed for the process to play out, time for a stadium to be built or brought to MLB standards, and you're talking about at least another couple of years beyond 2029. Manfred balked when asked specifically about the viability of Nashville as a candidate for expansion. He said, quote, "I have never identified particular cities as targets." He said, "We need an Eastern time zone and either a Mountain or Western time zone city, just in terms of making the format work in the best possible way. And I truly believe we're going to have multiple candidates in both categories." Let me hold it right there now. Do you think maybe he thinks that Nashville's in the Eastern time zone? I mean, you're telling me that he just wiped out the Central time zone? just wiped out Nashville because we're in the wrong time zone already?
People think it doesn't exist, and it shouldn't. I mean, I think it should. I like Central better than Eastern, but it's just me.
Oh, I love Central better than Eastern. How many
I like gaining
Major
an hour
League
when I come
clubs? If you had to guess, how many Major League clubs are in the Central time zone?
Well,
just
I
a
guess,
number off the top of your head.
Like 7 or 8.
8. Very good. Good job by you. Houston Astros, Texas Rangers, Kansas City Royals,
which is crazy.
Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, Minnesota Twins, St. Louis Cardinals, and the Milwaukee Brewers.
See, like I would have said all of the Central teams. Obviously would have made sense, and then I would never have thought Houston would still be in the Central time zone. That's the crazy thing.
Houston?
Yeah.
Why? Where would you think Houston is?
Well, I'm just saying it just seems like it would be more like. It wouldn't be like Western or Mountain Time or something like it. It doesn't seem like it'd be Central. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't seem like that.
Texas is Central.
Yeah.
The story goes on to say that's not to say that Nashville is out of the discussion by any means. If they decide to add 2 teams, it's just not fair for me to focus on one individual city. Manfred said, "I'd like to leave it at I think we're going to have multiple strong candidates in both categories, including Nashville." Okay, he says he wants an Eastern time zone team and a Mountain or Western time zone, Pacific time zone team. And I think that we have candidates in both categories, including Nashville. I think Rob Manfred thinks that Nashville's in the Eastern time zone. I really do. Honest to God, I don't think that guy realizes it's in. Crazy.
I mean, maybe eventually it'll change. Like maybe eventually, just get rid of Central Time. It'll be Eastern.
No, we don't want Eastern time.
I don't want it either. I don't want it either.
Although it's good for fishing. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's so much better to be able to go and get first light at 4:45 instead of 4:45.
I understand. Yeah.
This time of year. Manfred said he's never identified particular cities, but in 2018, he told the sports talk show First Things First that MLB had a real list of cities that I think are not only interested in baseball but are viable in terms of baseball: Portland, Las Vegas, Charlotte, and Nashville in the United States, and Montreal, maybe Vancouver in Canada. So watch them go all Canada and go Montreal and Vancouver, cover the East and the West that way. Las Vegas is Pacific, Charlotte is Eastern, Portland is Pacific, and Nashville is Central. All right, let's go to lines. Grumpy is up. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. I got a golf question for your tournament, and then a guy statement. Hey, with your golf tournament, like if I wanted to go out there, I'm sure that all of the golf carts at the place are going to be booked up, right? Like I couldn't get a golf cart and go watch a couple of those guys play golf on a golf cart, like pay the money for a golf cart and not play.
Actually, we have 84 players. There'll be about 6 or 8 golf carts probably left over that will be out there. Now, whether or not you can rent one and ride around, I don't know. But certainly not only you, but let me just get this out to everybody. Anybody is welcome to come to the tournament. All right, you're not going to get a meal, but you are welcome to come to the tournament and watch. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to really – you can see 4 or 5 holes, greens and tees, within a 2-minute walk of the clubhouse. 9 and 18 and 1 and 10. You don't really have to go out to watch a decent amount of golf.
Wolverine Dan couldn't hear me heckle him from the clubhouse.
That's true. That's a good point. But I that's a good question. I don't know. I would call out there to Pete Sands at the course and say, hey, is it possible for me to snag a golf cart?
I'll call him out. Hey, listen, on not sports related, but a guy saying, but it won't be cooking cookies for cutting hair. Hey, on that brake job, that $1,000 brake job, this will make you feel better about it. The heyday of AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto, matching online prices. So you could have got those brake parts for $100. But the thing is all of those places finally said, we're not competing with the internet. These are our prices, and you either pay them or you don't. We don't care how cheap you can get them. So if your son's car was jammed up and was shut down, you would have waited 3 days for those parts. So now you're looking at $350 in parts if you're going to buy them here locally, because all those auto places don't play you that match price thing anymore.
So if you needed the discs, the calipers, and the pads, you think that because they got to do them both. If they're going to do, even though it was the front right that was smoking.
Yeah.
Don't you think you could get all of that for $100? I don't think so. Can you?
Yeah.
Calipers?
Yeah, but you got to be able to wait 3 days for them. You got to be able to. That's the key. That's why I'm saying don't feel bad about putting that money out. If the car was shut down, you could have done the job a lot cheaper, but you'd have been shut down for 3 days, and he'd have been borrowing.
Yeah.
Dang, my bad.
Yeah, I hear you.
But whatever.
Well,
I'm just saying, I don't think you got jammed up on that, man. If you got it done for $900 and you're done with it, man, they probably put about 6 bills. Six bills. Well, they charged you about 6 bills in labor, and I mean, you guys could have done any of your listeners could have done the job, but you'd have been an hour on each wheel, and you don't want to, if you're not used to that stuff, you don't want to, but you could have done the job. But anyway, go ahead.
He's done them before. If it was here, if it was like, where he's here, he's done his own brake jobs before. And I have a son that's a half-ass mechanic over at Pioneer, motorcycle shop that has all the tools and can do that stuff too. But he was stuck. I mean, he was out there. You know what? Luckily, he broke down. They locked up on him right in front of a brake shop, auto tire, shop.
Yeah. Well, my point is that matching online prices doesn't happen in local auto places anymore. Those days are over. They finally got smart. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Redneck Romeo is next. Romeo, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am good. I hope you're doing good today.
I am fantastic.
Great. Hey, I was thinking about this expansion baseball. We don't need it. Do you remember they used pitchers that should have been in the major leagues? They should have been in the minors, and the homers they hit in the last one they had expansion baseball.
Yeah, I mean, there were years, a lot of people go all the way back to 1961 when Roger Maris hit 61 home runs, and not only had they expanded from 154 games to 162 games, they had 2 expansion teams that year, and a lot of people say, the reason Maris hit that is because the pitching was watered down. And yeah, every time there is expansion, yes, the pitching gets watered down a little bit, because where are you going to get these extra 20 pitchers? Everybody's going to have 10 or 11 pitchers, so now you got to go get 20, 25 pitchers, which means you're taking a bunch of AAA and AA guys, and now all of a sudden they're major leaguers. So I get that to a certain extent. Yeah.
They're serving them up. And you was talking about the arms the other day, how they only throw 75 pitches a game now.
Well, I think 100 is really 100 seems to be the number, the drop dead number now for the most part. They get into the 80s though, and it's like guys up in the 80s now. You know what I mean? We can't go too much longer.
You remember Bob Gibson and Jim Palmer? They would stay out there 140 pitches, and Red Cheney would have to fight Bob Gibson to get him off the mound. Same thing with Jim Palmer. They didn't want to leave. They would, get into 120, 30 pitches. How long did they pitch without getting hurt? You remember Bob Gibson having arm problems, Jim Palmer?
No. And look at the innings is the other part of it. Now 160, 170 innings, and they shut you down. 180 innings, 200 innings is almost unheard of. Bert Blyleven. Remember Bert Blyleven throwing 330, 340? It was just absolutely nuts. Look, Nolan Ryan, okay? Ryan, June 14th, 1974, Nolan Ryan struck out 19 Red Sox over 13 innings, and he threw 235 pitches. Nolan Ryan threw 235 pitches. The guy pitched for like 20 years, but he threw 235 pitches. You'd think they would have taken him and amputated his arm after that.
Right. Hey, but he never had no arm problems, did he?
No.
This taking pitchers out after so many pitches, and now it's in their head. They're like, I pitched 90 pitches this ball game. Before that, my arm's sort of aching.
He had 367 strikeouts that year in 1974. And get this, Grizz.
You remember the guy from the Red Sox, Louis Tiant?
Louis Tiant.
And
I'm glad you mentioned Louis Tiant. Yeah. So the day that Nolan Ryan went 13 innings and threw 265 pitches, get this, Grizz. The starting pitcher for the Red Sox was Louis Tiant. He went 14 and a third. Yeah,
normal. That's normal.
14 and a third innings. Now, if you get into the 7th inning, you're a crumb bum. I mean, you're like, what are you kidding me? At the 7th inning, get him out of there. 14 and a third innings for Louis Tiant.
Yeah, and Louis did not throw overhanded. He threw a torch from the side of his hip there to make the ball change. He was not a fastball pitcher. It was really, if anybody would have had arm problems, it would have been Louis.
Yeah. He would look at everybody. They said that Louis Tiant, throughout the course of a game, looked at every single person in center field at some particular point in time, made eye contact with every person in center field.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in Little League. I tried to bonk him when I got on the mound. It didn't work too good, but I thought I could do it.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all have a good weekend, fellas.
All right. Appreciate you. Nolan Ryan faced 58 batters in that game. 10 of them walked. And you would think, so Nolan Ryan goes 13 innings. Louis Tiant goes 14 and a third innings. All right. The Angels win 4-3 in 15. Okay. And the account of the newspaper account of the game in the Los Angeles Times said that, quote, Tiant and Ryan dueled tenaciously. That's all. That's all. That's all. They battled. One won 13, one won 14 and a third. They battled tenaciously. No biggie.
Well, it's like it's kind of crazy too, because Hurston Waldrop, the pitcher that was just pitching, Wednesday for the Braves, the Mississippi Braves, he got a complete game this season because they had a doubleheader, and he pitched 6, a 6 1/3 basically, and finished the inning, and didn't get the win, but got the complete game for the for the game. It's crazy, but it was because it's extra innings or it's a doubleheader. It was 7 innings, and it's shorter. But still, he probably wouldn't have even made it past the 6th or 7th inning if it was a full game. He didn't make it past the 5th or 6th inning, I think, when we were there. I think he was there till the 6th.
I'll be honest with you. I am surprised that Brandon just sent me the rundown of guys, that 7 guys, including Max Fried, have pitched a complete game this season. There have been 7 different guys that have one. Nobody's pitched more than one.
Yeah.
But there are 7 guys that have pitched a complete game this season.
Max Fried.
Jose Barrios, Ronald Blanco, Max Fried, Tanner Houck, Mitch Keller, Cole Reagans, and Ranger Suarez are the only guys that have pitched a complete game this year. Back in the day, in the 70s, though, those guys would go, you'd have 19 to 23, 22, 23 complete games. The top pitchers.
Right.
Which is crazy. It's just nuts. This season, all right, 6 pitchers have made it to 120 pitches. Mike Fears, Adam Wainwright, Trevor Bauer, Steven Matz, Matt Scherzer. Surprised he's not back on the IR after that. And Lance Lynn have had 120 pitches. Just 120 pitches. And it's like, what are you kidding me? It's nuts. Oh, wait a minute, that was a few years ago. Not even that. That was a few years ago. I'm sorry, I'm reading an article from a few years ago. That's not this year. That is back then in 2019.
Have they changed it where it's like the amount of innings you get, you're qualified as the win if
There's been a number of guys that have come out of the game at 4.5 innings and they don't get the win, and then they give it to some schmuck that came in from the bullpen and pitched 2/3 of an inning, got 2 outs in the 5th, and he gets the win.
Like AJ Minter gets a win half the time for the Braves, and it's just like, wait a minute, it's like Charlie Morton pitched, at least 4 and pretty good until the 5th inning.
Don't you think they should give the win to the guy? Wins don't matter at all anymore. It's not.
It's kind of like saves too. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't know if I credit like saves really much anymore as big as they used to be, because you usually put anybody. I feel like you put anybody sometimes.
Don't you think saves are bigger? I think saves are bigger than wins anymore because they're real. The guy comes in with 3-run lead or less, and he gets the save. So that's a thing. That's the same as it's always been. You come in with a 3-run lead or less, and you shut it down, you get the win, that's a save, or you close the game out, that's a save. But a start anymore is meaningless.
Yeah, because you're going to do a bullpen start. It's like you're going to have maybe 3 or 4, at most 4 guys that you're going to throw out there, and then that 4th or 5th game could be a bullpen game.
Yeah. All right. We're going to break in here. We'll come back. We'll check out the top of the hour texts and tweets, and got time to get one more call in if you want to jump in and be the last call in the house. 256-576-4977 on a Football Friday on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Insulation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship in insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. There's nothing better than a perfect cookie loaded with the finest all-natural premium ingredients. And you'll find these perfect cookies baked fresh every day at Cookie Fix. Choose from rotating flavors like classic chocolate chip, cranberry jumble, oatmeal toffee, and many others. Or take home one of their dough-to-go selections and bake them fresh at home. Cookie Fix also has cookie cakes for special celebrations, and they offer catering and shipping. Find out more and order online at cookiefix.com. In Twickenham Square, 300 Pelham Avenue. Cookie Fix. Grab some cookies and spread some smiles.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of iconic casinos, world-class shows, dining, and entertainment. Las Vegas. With flights starting as low as just $79, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Las Vegas. Book nonstop to Las Vegas now at flybreeze.com.
Valley Equipment Rental has grown by leaps and bounds over the past year and is adding more and more equipment to their already impressive fleet. Valley is a locally owned family equipment rental business serving the entire Tennessee Valley. They concentrate on the local contractors, building repeat business and specializing in long-term rentals for their local contractors. The benefit of long-term rental is that they stay on top of their assets. If something you own goes down in the field, you have to stop and fix it before you can finish the job. With Valley Equipment Rental, they will fix it on site or bring you another machine while that one's being fixed. More importantly, Valley is locally owned and operated, which means when you have an issue, you can get someone on it right away, right here in the Valley. Heck, ask for Ross Roberts, the owner, if you like. Try calling one of the big box national outlets and asking for the owner. That's if you can even get through the automation. Buy local. Buy Valley Equipment Rental. Valley Equipment Rental has 2 locations, one on the North and South Parkway. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
If you knew a local restaurant was featured on America's Best Restaurants on YouTube's Bring the Heat, would you not want to try it? Of course you would. So come on down to Lo Capone's and enjoy authentic Italian food and live entertainment daily. Everything is made fresh at Lo Capone's. Mama's secret lasagna recipe, the pizza dough, the sauces, all made fresh daily. And Lo Capone's bar is fully stocked to round out your dining experience. In Florence and now in Huntsville on University Drive. Come on down to Lo Capone's.
It has happened. 171.294 miles an hour.
You wake up late for school, man, you don't want to go. You ask your mom, please, but she still says no. You missed 2 classes and no homework. You gotta fight for your right to party.
And online at owenappliance.com.
Sports Talk 24/7 365. Your full-time sports station.
You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Doesn't anyone do any work around this joint anymore?
Segment of Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. Get down there now. Well, as soon as the show's over, get down there and rent your piece of equipment for the weekend, because you're only going to pay for one day. You pick it up after the show, and you keep it all the way till 8 o'clock on Monday morning. It gets light at 5 in the morning, so you'll be able to work on Monday morning and get 3 hours work in there or so before you got to have it back. It's Valley Equipment Rental. They're family-owned. They serve the entire Tennessee Valley area. And look, they take care of the contractors, the landscapers, the homeowners, the do-it-yourselfers. Ross Roberts is the owner. He's also a pretty decent little golfer. He'll be out there Monday with us, Chris. He'll be out there playing golf Monday. Valley Equipment, they snagged a hole to sponsor in our golf tournament to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. They'll be out there. And he grew up in the equipment rental industry, and they got two tremendous locations, the North and the South Parkway. All right, lines are open if you want to jump in. We can slip you in here. Media alert. This is, I don't know, take this seriously or take this tongue-in-cheek, or I don't know what to think here. I don't know what to think about this thing here. But just got a media alert in my inbox, and it titled, Stallions fans encouraged to plan ahead for Saturday night. Heavy traffic expected in downtown Birmingham. A.J. McCarron's return is drawing record numbers. All right, let's just stop right there for a second. The Stallions have won back-to-back league championships.
Yeah.
The Stallions are undefeated this season.
Correct.
St. Louis is coming in. They're 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
This is a preview potentially of the UFL championship game. Get all of that. A.J. McCarron hasn't played in Alabama for, 6-8 years now? 8 years or so, something like that. He's like 31 or 32 years old. Maybe almost 10 years, 9 years, something like that.
Years ago. Little League.
Is AJ McCarron packing the house at the Birmingham Stallions game to where we have a media alert because AJ McCarron is coming in there to play? The guy's been carrying a clipboard for half the teams in the NFL when he's not coaching Little League baseball. Love AJ McCarron. Love what he did at Alabama. 3 rings, 2 as a starter. That's fantastic. The release says here, downtown Birmingham Saturday night events may lead to potential delays in accessing the stadium and purchasing tickets on site. They want you to buy your tickets in advance because the place, who knows? They're averaging 9,000 a game.
Yeah.
The stadium only holds 40,000. So I guess they're concerned that you might not get a ticket, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Really? And it keeps referring to at night. The game kicks at 3 o'clock. Got news for you. If you're worried about getting around Birmingham Saturday night, you missed the game. So the release goes on to say Protective Stadium will be rocking and fans need to plan ahead, says David Martin, Senior Director of Team Business and Event Operations. Tickets are selling fast. Fans are encouraged to purchase their tickets now to avoid delays at the walk-up window. They should plan to arrive early. And when they do, we have exciting events planned for the whole family. The ticket box office will open at 11:30 a.m. at Protective Stadium. Gates open at 1:30, hour and a half before kickoff. The South box office will serve as the preferred location for walk-up purchases. Well, that's because it's probably the only ticket location that's going to be open. Tickets can also be available for purchase on Friday at Legacy Arena box office from 9 to 4 today and at the UFL.com. During the pregame festivities, fans can visit the Stanley Stable Fan Fest presented by Westgate in the North Plaza. Fans can enjoy interactive games including football toss and field goal kick, as well as poster station, face painter, and balloon artist. Starting at 2, just an hour before kickoff, fans can attend the Alabama Football Alumni Autograph Session featuring Crimson Tide legends Bobby Humphrey, who I think was in our office the other day.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. Antonio Langham, David Palmer, and Trent Richardson. Blooper, the official mascot of the Atlanta Braves, will be present at the game.
Not bad.
Get your tickets now and plan ahead. There will be tens of people going to the game. No, I'm
fives.
I'm going to record it so I can watch it on TV later after the shower. All right, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We'll talk to you on Monday from down at the golf tournament at Cherokee Ridge. This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.